Hello, grade twos. Today is Wednesday, and we are going to be all done doing our picture graphs that we've been doing the last couple days, and we're actually going to move into what's called geometry, and that's where we're going to talk about shapes. So for today, I'm going to need you to have your textbook, and I would like you to open to page 90 in your textbook, okay? And to talk about different types of shapes, we are going to talk about the face, okay? And the face, think of it as, for us, is what we see. So the face of a shape is every part that we can see. Not what's inside, but what we see, okay? We can have a curved face. Do you see how this goes all the way around? It's curved. Or we could have a flat face. And I want you to think of flat as, and I'll hold this up, as you can sit it and it holds still. If I put it here, it moves around, right? It's curved. Curved means it wouldn't sit still, where flat, it's going to sit. So this shape has a curved face and it has a flat face, okay? And we can have objects that just have flat faces. So flat, 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 so all the way around, including the ends. No matter which way I sit it, it's going to sit flat, okay? So we're going to talk about faces. So on this first page, I would like us on page 90 is we are going to match up the objects of the same shape, okay? So let's match some things up that are the same shape. Okay, so we have a Kleenex box here. What is the same shape as our Kleenex box? What do you think is the same shape as the Kleenex box? The carton of milk, right? The Kleenex box is lying this way and the carton of milk is up this way. What about our ice cream cone? What is also the same shape as our ice cream cone, which is a cone shape? What's our cone? What's another thing that's a cone? The party hat, right? Where they both have a flat surface, right? There's my party hat, and a curved face, okay? What would be the same shape as my clock? What would be the same shape as my clock? This is the clock, but if you notice, the tuna is the same shape. You're right. And then last but not least, we've got our piece of cheese or cheesecake up here. What would be the same shape as that? Okay, where we've got our piece of cheese or our cheesecake, okay, that we also have our little pop-up calendar, and that's our triangular prism. Okay, so those are matching together there, okay, that you can see that we have our different shapes. We have our cylinder, and this is our cylinder, okay? Then we have our triangular prism, right? This has got a triangle, our prism. And then we have our rectangular prism, right? Okay? And then we've got our cone, okay? That we've got our cylinder, we've got our prism, we've got our box, and we've got our cone, okay? Now, let's turn to the next page. Let's turn to page 92. Now, we have our four shapes up here. We've got our box, we've got our cylinder, our prism, and our cone, okay? Each of these is describing one of the shapes, and I want you to think about the shapes, whether they have a curved face, remember that's going to keep rolling, or a flat face, okay? So let's do the first one. It says, I have a curved face. So one of the faces is curved, and I have two flat faces. So which shape, let's go with the first one, has a curved face. So which shapes have curves faces? The round, right, goes around. We've got our cone's got a curved face, right? It goes all the way around. And our cylinder, right? Our cylinder rolls. It's got a curved face. So these are our two that have curved. These ones don't have any curved. And the next says I have 2 flat faces. So out of this one and this one, okay, which one has 2 flat faces? Okay, so does this have 2 flat faces? Or does this have 2 flat faces? It is this one, right? This is one flat and this is the other. Our cone only has 1 flat face. So our first one is our cylinder. Next one, I do not have curved faces. So no curved faces, okay? I have 6 flat faces. Which one has 6 flat faces? Okay. Okay, so these 2 we know had the curve, so it must be between these 2. And which one has 6? Well, let's go through. Here's our triangle, our prism. We'd have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this has 5. Let's go through our box. We have 1, 2, and then we've got 3, 4, 5, 6. So this would be our box that has 6 flat faces. Let's do the next one. I have a curved face and I have 1 flat face. What object has a curved face and 1 flat, one of each? It's our cone down there, yes. And the last one, I don't have any curved faces and I have 5 flat faces. So no curves and 5 flat. Do you remember? Our prism, right? And I'm going to hold it. So we've got 1, 2, and then we can do 3, 4, 5 faces. And they are all flat because they stay flat. Okay? In your workbook today, I would like you to do exercise 59, where you're going to match the objects of the same shape. Okay? Just like we had done. And then here, you're going to decide which objects don't belong, which don't match the other shape. Which ones are different shapes. And this one over here, you're going to see part of a face of each shape is colored gray. I want you to tell me what shape that is. So looking at here, that this is grayed out, okay? What shape is that? The part that's just the gray. That's a rectangle. So you're going to write rectangle. Looking at the clock, what shape is that that's gray? And write the shapes under each one, right? And we all know those from last year. We've got our square, our rectangle, our circle, our triangle. Those are the ones, okay? And then lastly, you're going to look at these shapes and you're going to determine how many flat faces they have and how many curved faces, okay? So you're going to think of the shape and go all the way around it. Think of all the sides, the top and the bottom, around, the front and the back, and determined the curved means it goes around, it wouldn't sit flat, and then the flat faces where it would sit, okay? So you're going to do exercise 59 for today, and we will see you tomorrow.